Pierre Auguste Renoir's young woman La Servante stands as a superb example of the pursuit of everyday beauty in 19th-century French painting, particularly in how it reveals poetry and dignity in anonymous individuals. Painted in 1875 and now housed in the Metropolitan Museum of Art in New York, the identity of the young woman depicted remains unknown. By 1885, however, the work had circulated under the title Young Woman La Servante, and for years it was mistakenly believed to represent a waitress at the popular Parisian eatery Duval's. Whatever the woman's actual role may have been, Renoir endows the model with a graceful naturalness, embodying his own idea of the eternal within the everyday. The year 1875 marked a turning point for Renoir. In 1874, he had joined his peers in organizing the first Impressionist exhibition. Although the group's groundbreaking painting style was dismissed by critics, it captivated a small circle of supporters. The term Impressionism itself originated during this period, coined as a derogatory label by the critic Louis Leroy. In this social context, Renoir continued to explore his expression through portraits and genre scenes. Especially noteworthy is his growing tendency during this time to portray women from the middle and working classes as models. Rather than idealized bourgeois figures, these were depictions rooted in real life, a revolutionary approach at the time, underpinned by keen observation and empathy. In Young Woman La Servante, Renoir presents a figure of social invisibility, a waitress or domestic servant, with the grandeur of a mythological goddess. This is a half-length portrait, with the young woman placed slightly to the left of center. She gazes forward, her eyes gently averted downward to the left. The background is dark and abstract, accentuating the woman's face and attire. Light enters from the upper left, softly illuminating her cheek, forehead, neck, shoulders, and clothing. Renoir's masterful handling of light here highlights the softness of her skin and the healthy glow of her complexion, qualities that lend this piece a particularly poetic tone. Her dark brown hair is loosely gathered in a somewhat casual style. The absence of ornate accessories or flamboyant fashion instead enhances her natural charm. Her outfit, white with pink and blue accents, while slightly decorative for servants' attire, showcases Renoir's keen sense of color and love for ornamentation. The expression on her face deserves close attention. It lies somewhere between neutral and faintly smiling, leaving ample room for interpretation. Her eyes appear somewhat shadowed, hinting at a quiet melancholy or inner life. In this way, Renoir elevates the model beyond a mere figure of daily life to one imbued with symbolic depth and interiority. At this stage in his career, Renoir was developing a unique style that blended impressionistic brushwork with traditional compositional structure. In Young Woman La Servante, the brushstrokes are free and soft. The figure's contours are not sharply defined but seem to merge with the background, lending the model an ethereal, dreamlike quality. Renoir's trademark use of light and warm tones is fully present. Especially in the skin, subtle middle tones, pinks, beiges, ivories, are expertly layered to evoke the warmth of life. In contrast, the whites and blues of her clothing enhance the tones of her face and hair. The deep greens and browns of the background act as a theatrical backdrop that pushes the figure forward into visual prominence. One of the work's most compelling aspects is the ambiguity surrounding the model's identity and role. While the title suggests she is a servant, there is no clear indication of her duties or personal background. Rather, she is presented as a universal young woman, embodying Renoir's quest for transcendent beauty in art, one that disregards social status in favor of human dignity and grace. In the social climate of 19th-century France, working-class women were rarely the subjects of fine art. That Renoir chose such a model, and portrayed her with the grandeur of a goddess, holds meaning beyond realism. Renoir once remarked, "I like unostentatious eternity. A maid who, pausing as she polishes a pot, looks like Juno on Olympus, that's it." This philosophy is vividly expressed in Young Woman La Servante. Positioned between Renoir's early Impressionist style and his later return to classicism, the painting holds important art historical value. Though never exhibited in the Impressionist shows, it illustrates how Renoir in the mid-1870s was already merging his interest in light, color, and humanity. It also attests to his skill as a portraitist and prefigures his later depictions of aristocratic and mythological women. Since the 20th century, this painting has been reinterpreted from perspectives such as the beauty of the everyday, the dignity of common people, and the expression of feminine interiority. It has been reevaluated as a key to understanding Renoir's core artistic values. Furthermore, it has influenced later artists, including Édouard Vuillard and Pierre Bonnard in their domestic interiors, and has drawn renewed attention in the context of feminist art criticism in the 20th century. Young Woman La Servante is not merely a portrait of a young woman. It is a work that embodies the intersection of art and society in 19th century France, while clearly conveying Pierre Auguste Renoir's artistic ideals. His notion of unostentatious eternity is powerfully present here, offering deep resonance for modern viewers. When an anonymous young woman, through a fleeting gesture or glance, is transfigured into an image of the eternal, Renoir's profound love for art and unshakable trust in humanity shine through.